you for asking.
You're welcome.
She receives, and she's a setter. She was setting for half the rotations. She was hitting for half the rotations. And she was an
Okay, so I'm pulling up the file you submitted, right?
Package 5 final draft is or second draft has everything.
Okay.
we're playing Low Sal for a home. Once day 100 is yes, we should put it on the story. Once day 100 is over, we'll leave it up. We should leave it for our class tomorrow.
You said you're going somewhere for break as well.
No.
I said you were.
No.
At some point? I thought you said you had to finish this thing.
No, I wanted your help before break,
Oh, okay.
so I could work on the other stuff during break.
Okay. So you know the senior project planning report that gets attached is the graded one. When you finally submit it, not a blank one. So the one that I wrote on.
The one that you wrote on? When? The 18th?
When I graded it in the first semester. There was one that I graded that had like green writing on it. That's the one that gets submitted. So because we want to make sure that no changes were made in the paper. Like some kids go back in and they edit their goals. So it looks like they hit all of them.
Yeah.
So you have to submit the graded one.
That one was from first semester.
Yeah, very end of first semester.
Which was February? No, January.
That really hurt.
The SPR. I don't know about how January 24th. That's when it's due.
Okay.
Right at the end of the first semester.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know. All right, implementation.
Put sunscreen on there.
I still think you need to work on language like accomplished a lot. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really mean anything because it's so overused.
Yeah.
Like, just try and find a different way to word it. And then the impact, state whether there was a positive or negative impact. Remember we spoke about that before. Although I don't think you're going to say negatively impact. But like I'm saying, impact alone could be big positive. Like school shooters impact a school.
Yeah, which part are you on?
Implementation, package 4. I just looking at looking at your opening paragraph. You want to look at package 5, but I was just looking at that. Because I wanted to see if you made the changes I suggested, but you didn't make the change to that first sentence that I suggested.
Package 4?
Yeah. Remember when I talked about impact and I said, oh, the Holocaust? And,
Yeah, that was for package 5.
No, that was 4, wasn't
I
it?
think it's 5. And I did it in 5.
Okay, well, let me look at, package 4 is short.
Oh, I know. That's why I said I want to go over it all. Because they're all really short. Because, like, I don't have much to say, so, like...
You should.
But, like...
You should.
I know, but, like, I don't know.
See, because the problem is you know everything about your project, but I don't.
Yeah.
And you're treating it as if I know what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't. You have to assume you're explaining it to somebody who doesn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you say to the judges? You wouldn't just go, yeah, well, this opening paragraph for evaluate the outcomes is it one sentence, really? One sentence? I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
You say, things I have learned from creating a small business conclude. That seems like there's a bunch of a paragraph missing. You say, do you really know? Are we still? I got to make sure. See, here's my challenge: is making sure that you and I are talking about the same thing. So I'm going to pull up a really good package 5. Which I'm going to put over here. Let's see. So look at that. Package 5, opening paragraph. Okay, and then we're going to compare it to yours, which yours is one sentence. Okay, how big is this one?
Like 5 sentences.
More, probably. And it gives an opening. Like you just went, things I have learned. Are we talking about things you've learned? Like, no, we're talking about the outcome of the project, right? So look at this one. Opening sentence. Name of the company. Mavlov's development was extremely successful for various reasons. So right now we're establishing that the outcome was excellent, right? Extremely successful. My extensive learning stretch is by far the most beneficial aspect to this project. Now is stated the most important criterion, right? Then says, however, I also gained a significant amount of skill needed to work in the fashion industry. Now, let's talk about skill set, not just learning, like mental learning, but also skills, because hers was a sewing thing, so she learned how to sew, right? I have always aspired to become a confident, headstrong, wrong word choice, but entrepreneur, and this experience confirmed that I have a passion and drive to accomplish my goals. So now it's established the importance. Remember, you have to establish like why this is important. The creation of Mavlov provided me several ways to grow as a person and as an entrepreneur. So another way of stretching, right? Personal growth. Creating this business encouraged me to develop intense critical thinking skills, right? And offered an education in sewing and crafting a garment, constructing a business plan, website development, product promotion. Look, exactly what each paragraph is going to be about. You do part of this. You do produce the product, medical keychains, budgeting for materials, packing, product, and time management. But you don't do any of the other stuff, like setting the importance. Is this making sense? So remember that these things are supposed to, like a traditional paragraph is supposed to start broad and then funnel down. It's exactly what she does. She starts broad. Bam, this thing was great. Right? It's just like if you got up and tried to give a speech about the swim season, you wouldn't get up and go, I swam fast. You'd be like, this was a great season, right? And then we go, yay, Katie. And then you're like, let me tell you why it was great, right? And then, because I had huge amounts of fun, I had this, I had that, and then you drop into more specifically why, right? Going through senior year with my fellow seniors, blah, 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 you know, meeting the new people, fighting through shoulder pain, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you start then laying out specific things. So this thing needs a boost. Like, imagine you standing in front of a crowd that doesn't know what your project is, and your speech is supposed to be on the success of your project. You wouldn't just go, things I have learned, right? You'd go, man, this is great, right? That's what she does. Like, I can picture this person standing up there going, thing was great. I had a big learning stretch. I gained a huge amount of skills, blah, blah, blah. And then it starts narrowing down to specifically. And then we know, since she did this great sentence, which you do have a good sentence like this. Hers is a little bit even more complicated, but that's okay. You didn't do a bad job on that. So creating this business encouraged me to develop critical thinking skills, blah, blah, and then gets into the sewing, crafting, blah, blah, blah. So I could go right down here, and I know that my first paragraph, because she talked the very specific thing, she said was sewing and crafting. Look, first paragraph, skills necessary to design, sew, and manufacture a product. So then I know that my next thing is going to be on constructing a business plan, right? So if I go over here, look at that nice big paragraph. She has a second paragraph still on sewing and crafting. Same idea, because look how much she learned, right? She's going to exhaust sewing and crafting first, right? The last thing was on finishing the sewing, right? And so then she's going to go through all the other things that she talks about. The business plan, right? Fabric remnants, what she can do with that, like, and then finishes with her conclusion. Just giving you an idea, because like this needs that level of development. And I still don't see where you're going to tab these things, like link them. Because it looks to me like you have a pretty weak intro, one solid body paragraph, and then it starts kind of falling apart again. It gets all thin. So your solid body paragraph is how to produce the product, things you learned, right, about producing the product. So like hers, she broke it up into like individual sewing skills and then manufacturing skills, like how to make things more efficient and stuff like that, right? Like, so first it was like, and you could almost do the same thing, right? You had to learn how to make it, and then you found ways to make it, because you made them, and then you found, oh, I can get this stamped, I can get the sheet. You found ways to make it faster, right? And cut the time down a lot, which thereby increases your profitability and everything else. So you have to be able to explain that, though. Like I said, imagine it as a speech to an audience. Like you just won the Barnett Award for excellence in Cybacks. And they're like, tell us about your project. How great was it? Let me tell you how great it was. But nobody knows what your project was. So you're explaining it, okay? Will that help?
Yeah.
So I think make those fixes, and then we can meet tomorrow, tutorial, and see what fixes you made. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I don't want to hit you with too much at once, because you got some serious work to do on this. And then we'll come back and fix more. Okay? Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
She receives, and she's a setter. She was setting for half limitations. She was hitting for half limitations. And she was an
Okay, so I'm pulling up the file you submitted, right?
Package 5, final draft is or second draft has everything.
Okay.
we're playing close out for a home.
Once day 100 is, yes, we should put it on the story. Yeah. Once day 100 is over, we'll leave it up for the day. We should leave it for our class tomorrow.
You said you're going somewhere for break as well?
No.
I thought you said you were.
No.
Are you at some point? I thought you said you had to finish this thing.
No, I wanted your help before break, so I could work on the other stuff during break.
Okay. So you know the senior project planning report that gets attached is the graded one. When you finally submit it, not a blank one. So the one that I wrote on.
The one that you wrote on? When? The 18th?
When I graded it, but in the first semester. There was one that I graded that had like green writing on it. that's the one that gets submitted. So because we want to make sure that no changes were made in the paper. Like some kids go back in and they edit their goals.
Okay.
Looks like they hit all of them.
Yeah.
So you have to submit the graded.
That one was from first semester,
Yeah, very end of first semester.
which was February. No, January.
How'd that feel? That really hurt.
The SPR.
I
don't know about how was that?
would be in the front.
January 24th. That's when it was due.
Okay.
Right at the end of the first semester.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know. All right, implementation.
Put sunscreen on there.
Dried out.
I still think you need to work on language like accomplished a lot. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really mean anything because it's so overused.